So our engine is coming out today and the crane is arriving soon. So this bad boy is going to be lifted, hopefully nice and smooth through the hatch. We have done it once before, so yeah, it's coming out. I wonder why.
So the engine's out, the rig is down. Like, there's more of my boat down here than there is up there. The prop's got to come off. Noticed a tiny bit of wear on the shaft, but I think it's okay. We're going to stay with that. But the next job really is to service this outboard engine. You may remember last year in Glengarriff when we were there, this cut out a couple of times. To be honest, it's long overdue, like a full service, so I've got to take the bottom end off, or the leg apart, and I've got to do a full clean of all the carburetor and everything. Service it, change the spark plug, might check the valve clearances as well, but I probably won't bother. But there's another problem that happens sometimes when she's in full forward, is that for some reason the engine revs and there's no power. So I'm wondering, is there an issue in here somewhere? I think there's like a shaft and then there's a little clutch, like a dog clutch or something, I think it's called. So I just have to make sure that that's working okay, and just give the whole engine a once over and make sure that it's all good. Nitty gritty of it, the pump, like, it looks like the housing is pretty worn down. The impeller as well is pretty goose, there's bits falling off it. Luckily there's no bits that have fallen off it, but it's pretty worn out. The bottom plate as well, bottom plate isn't amazing, but it might be okay. So I need to see how much a water pump repair kit is, and see if it's worth changing those, because I don't want to spend too much on this engine. But if it needs it, it needs it. The anode obviously needs to be changed. The prop's fine. I don't know about the prop, because, like, I know when she goes into forward gear sometimes it almost like she slips out of gear and then comes back on again. So I took the gearbox apart, and looking at reverse gear and the dog clutch, everything looks fine. But I'm wondering, I don't know if you can see it there, there's forward gear and it looks okay too, so I'm not actually 100% sure what's wrong with it. So yeah, I might need to have a look at pictures of a good gear and see what it looks like. But yeah, look at this. This engine, I don't think I've ever taken it apart, and I've kind of disgraced myself. But that's like packed with salt, so I need to take that out and clean that passageway. And then up here somewhere, I haven't quite got that far yet, but there, I know that there's a, in here somewhere, whoops, up here somewhere is a thermostat, and that needs to be changed too. The carburetor obviously was new a few years ago, but yeah, so we've got quite a bit of messing about to do in here as well. So yeah, I guess all I can do now is put in a big order for parts. Hopefully they're pretty cheap, but I'm not sure. And start getting this thing serviced and back operational so we can get this dinghy out for a spin. At least we can get out in the water. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how bad that is. That's pretty bad.
We're going, well, I'm going to just paint an area of the boat that we've kind of just shut the door on for a while, which is in here. So this is our current head, obviously not in use. We've still got a lot to do, but it's a grand bit of space in here. So we've got our toilet hooked up and stuff. Obviously in the yard we're not using that. So ideally the plan is to build some sort of cabinet here, a sink and storage. We were going to have a standing shower here, which is actually pretty cool to fit in. But we're kind of rethinking that idea. Just, yeah, it's kind of just the neglected room right now. So what I'm going to do with the leftover paint is pretty much paint all these walls again, just to give them an extra coat. Lock it all in and just freshen it up really in here. So we have all the paint left over, might as well use it. So while I'm painting the head, Rhys, what are you up to?
I'm missing a thing.
What are we missing?
Just the big knocky loud thing.
So our engine's gone. How are we feeling about that, Rhys?
Kind of regretting it, to be honest. Now I don't have an engine.
So why did we get rid of it?
It's 40 years old and it was fine, it was running fine and everything, but like given where we want to go, basically, I just didn't trust it anymore. And even though it probably had loads of life left in it, and it's oldest, so the guy who has it now is delighted with it, and it is a good little engine. It's just these kind of things wear out and they can fail, and they can, and that's the truth of it. So we got a really good deal on a brand new engine, which I have to get ready for, because for some reason even after a year the engine room was absolutely horrible. So I need to clean it out and figure out why it's getting so horrible. I think the last engine, to be honest, its water pump failed and sprayed rusty water everywhere, so that's half of it. So I have to clean it all out and get ready for the new engine, which will require welding and all sorts of fun stuff, so it will get cracking.
Excited?
No. Because I'm sick of working. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done.
Good clean and good paint. It'll be fine.
Bit of welding.
So Rhys is just contemplating life in here.
Yeah. I think the engine drawings I did, I drew the engine room over the drawings for the actual engine, and I know that the back engine bearers, the mounts where the mounts bolt to, I know the back ones are correct, so I know that they'll bolt straight up, but these need to be moved forward, and instead of, like, for some reason, there's actually two different engine bearers, right, which makes it a little bit more difficult to put the engine in because you have to lift it up and on. So I'm going to weld a plate between the two, and then I'm going to add a piece to the front there and down. And what that means is I can put the engine in and just slide it back and forward wherever I want, and it just make it a little bit easier to maneuver it. So I'm just trying to contemplate. I also need to cut out the seacock, because the seacock's an old stainless one and it's got a welded stub. So I'm going to drill that out and put in a true design one there as well. So I need to do that, and then what else do I need to do? That's basically it. I need to change the strainer because that's too small now. The strainer's too small. You're right then,
Sorry.
And I need to put a light in the engine room, and I'm going to do something different with the electrics as well, because I want to put a battery-to-battery charger for the house bank so that they're split, so that there's no like direct charge coming off the battery to the other batteries. I want to control that through a B2B, so that if I use lithium in the future, it's just a straight swap. I also need to put in a battery off switch, so I need to put in a bus bar, battery off switch, a B2B, and then it should all fit on here, fairly handy. I know that it's not going to be easy to get at the battery off switch, but there's no way of me running the battery off switch anywhere else unless I use really heavy cables, and I don't really want to have to do that, so I'll run it here and see how it works, and I can change it in the future. And I need to mount this engine room door and stuff, so
a lot of work to do in the engine room.
It shouldn't be too bad, it should be handy enough, but
it's just a small area, isn't it?
It's grand, it's just not ruining any of stuff in there, like the sound insulation and stuff. I just need to give it a clean, it's fine, and then weld. The welding will destroy the paint, obviously, so yeah. And
it's lashing rain outside.
Is it?
Yeah. Cloudy and rainy, so it's making it a little bit difficult because we're both working inside today. But, and what I'm doing in here, it's looking a bit better. Fresh. Minty fresh. Alright. We get back to it?
Yeah. Get through it. So I've been working on making these engine bearers. Taken some 10mm plate, just cut a slot in it and bent it over. I bent it at 90 degrees and I welded it, forgetting that it would pull, so it's gone off a couple of degrees, but that's not a problem at all. So I'm going to cut these down to size and then weld them in place. I'll show you up on the engine room. Basically the new engine is the engine mounts are slightly further forward at the front, so I just need to make these basically extension plates for the engine bearers. But yes, easy enough, just cut the slot, 3 or 4 passes of weld, fair it off with the grinder, and I'll paint them then. There's probably mill scale all over this, so I'm going to run over it with the Turku and prime it before I weld it in. It'll just mean I can get a proper layer of primer all over it. And then when I weld it in, I'll cover over where I've welded. Get these done and move on. That's the plan. Cleaned up my welds. They're pretty strong. I've belted the shite out of them with a hammer just to double check. And as I was saying, I welded this at 90 and it pulled it up a bit, but because they're both the same, I'm not worried. And I did try and bend it back with the hammer, with a lump hammer, and it didn't move, so that's a good thing, pretty much. So what I'm going to do now is, they're both slightly different lengths, going to cut that to length. These should fit straight in now, and then I'm going to clean them off, paint them, and then weld them in tomorrow, because I only have stainless rods, so this is stainless weld, which is fine. It's not a big deal, it's all going to be painted. It wouldn't be structurally the most strong in the world, but it doesn't need to be, because to be honest, a lot of the weight of the engine is going to be in between the two bearers, so this is only really a filler, to be honest. So what I'll do is, yeah, I'll cut these to length and go from there. And then tomorrow, when I have proper mild steel rods, I will weld these in. So fingers crossed they fit okay, and we'll see. There's the other one actually, that's ground off as well. As you can see, I didn't put enough weld on it really for it to be pretty, but I don't really care, because once that's painted you won't see it anyway. Yeah, so not too bad, eh? Not too bad. Glad I brought my little welder now. It's been indispensable, to be fair. So yeah, I'll get these up to the boat and see about welding them in.
So Rhys is just fixing the engine seacock, or putting it in, so you just see that little dot over there. He's just down below doing that now. Oh, there he is. Having success.
Is it coming through?
Yeah, I see light.
Okay, I think it needs a little bit more, but I'm going to give it a hit with a hammer and see what happens instead. No, I don't think that'll go yet.
You can see a little bit of daylight there.
Yeah, it's most of the way off.
Another coat of paint and then it should be ready for the engine. So today we have another really exciting delivery to come. We've kind of kept this a little bit hush because it was unexpected really. We weren't going to purchase this. All our last bit of savings has gone into it, but we have. So it's just been delivered off the truck now. So what have we got, Rhys?
Hopefully that's the engine. If it's not the engine, then I don't know what it is. been waiting for a long time for this fella. Oh, we ordered it in April, yeah. The crane is to get over it.
Yeah, it's a pretty big box.
So we ordered it. Beat and Marine are usually, the engines are usually red. We actually special ordered it to be white because white engines are easier to maintain, to be honest. You can see leaks easier. So I painted my last engine white and it actually was a lot handier to see problems. So I'm just curious. It doesn't say anywhere on here what colour it is, so there's the lads here are saying that it's going to be turning up red, so we'll have a look.
Our brand new engine. That's what's in the box.
I don't know what's going to be. Yeah, so we can see. You ready?
Yeah. Red or white?
Is it going to be red or white?
I'm going to say white, like we ordered. Oh.
Oh,
it's white.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Another shiny aspect to the boat. So why did we get a new engine, Rhys?
The last one was just ancient, to be honest. It was 40 years old, and to be honest, I just didn't trust it that much. Even though it was a fine engine, it just gave us a few, like the auxiliaries and stuff were starting to give issues. So yeah, just trying to take it all in, to be honest.
So our every last bit of savings has gone into this. Oh god. But we had a guy from back home help us out.
Yeah, Atlantic Breeze, Robin, he gave us a discount on it, so that was good.
Yeah. So Rhys just taking it all in.
Yeah, just trying to, I suppose, come to terms with the money that I spent on this fucking boat.
So we got it custom painted, iced white.
Ice white. Where does it say that?
There on the little tag. Ice white.
Oh yeah.
Now, the easy part is putting it in.
It's going to be a nerve-wracking lift.
So, engine accessories?
I think this is the engine panel. And manuals, so I can do some reading tonight.
It's like Christmas, isn't it? Expensive Christmas.
There's the engine panel. I went for the buttons so I wouldn't lose any keys. So you just
clever.
start and stop.
Very clever. Alright, so it is the morning that our crane is arriving shortly to put our new engine in. So really exciting. This is kind of the final big fit out that we're doing in the boat. So mast has obviously gone up, which is great. This is our old one still sitting beside us. And then our engine is going in shortly. So fingers crossed that Rhys has got all the measurements right for all the plates for the engine, and that's all good. So it's been painted, cleaned, everything ready to go. So yeah, really exciting morning here in the yard. Still wrapped up, and we put a cover over it just because we had a bit of torrential rain the last few days, but now it's a heat wave coming. So yeah, so we're going to uncover that, take all the packaging off, have it ready on the crate. I was going to say the planet, and then it's going to be hoisted up here, and it should slot in through our hatch perfectly. So see how it goes.
All jammed up, you know, just chucked it in. Just move it away there. Alright.
Yeah, she's in at that. And slide it back to my hand now.
There she is.
It fits anyway. Well, I hope so anyway.
So how are we feeling?
Good. Well, I drilled all the holes right anyway.
Good.
And it, like, the shaft popped straight in. So all the engine needs to do now is be lined up
And wired and all that stuff. Looks good and white,
well,
doesn't
the
it?
wiring, it's a plug.
It's the last big fit out of the boat, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
In its
It actually
place.
sure looks like the old engine. You know, it just looks the
It's
same.
identical, isn't it? Rhys is just doing the final fittings on the engine.
Yeah, so I've got to put all the hoses in and stuff to put in an anti-siphon, so I just have to replace some hoses, put the Seacock in, and then wire in an electric fuel pump because the kilo tank is because the tank is below the engine, so I need something to help the fuel. And after that, then it's I suppose we have to run it then, and then we'll commission it properly and all that stuff. But
she's all covered up at the moment while the work is getting done, but yeah, so
I like to keep it covered because otherwise it gets all dusty while all the engine covers are off, you know.
it's the last bit of work before our final big splash. Hey?
Yeah, exciting.
So that was our week. Busy with the engine.
Yeah, it's in now though.
Yeah, so Rhys is just gonna do the last few touches and then hopefully another week till the big splash.
A week.
So
I can't wait to get out of the boat yet. As good as the marina has been, it's just like I've had enough.
it's a big sort out the next few days, big clean, get everything in place before a survey. But again, thank you for all your support, supporting us along the way. It hasn't been the easiest few months here in the yard. Quite costly, quite tiring. We're getting there, eh?
Yep, almost there now.
So yeah, that's it for us this week. See you next time.